know y'all probably still processing everything that happened in part one, but I promise you, it's so much more to unravel and discover in this episode. So just sit back, tune in, make sure y'all like, make sure y'all share, make sure y'all comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We about to get into it, part 2 coming up now. All right, so at this point, you had the third baby in while you were in jail.
I had the third baby while I was incarcerated at the YDC.
Okay. And what happened with that baby?
My aunt came, picked him up. I had him like April the 1st, 7:30 that evening. 9 o'clock that morning, I was back out there doing time. I mean, no recovery room, no nothing.
And by this time, what, you was 17?
17.
Okay.
No. I hadn't turned 17 yet. Because I had him April the 1st. I was going to be 17 July 26th.
Okay, so you was still 16.
16, yeah.
When you had him. Wow. So 13, the first baby, 15, 16, you had 3 babies. And all 3, were they in 3 separate homes at this time?
3 separate homes.
3 separate homes, and you're currently incarcerated doing time for check cash.
Yeah.
Fraudulent check cash.
Yeah.
So you get paroled out. What's going on after that?
I feel like I'm grown.
You 17 at this point. Okay.
I'm grown, you know.
Cause you done lived a life of 3-4 women.
I'm grown, and it is what it is, and y'all just keep. I was more hurt because with my second baby, I didn't want her where she was, and it really hurted me. And I felt like they had a reason. My grandma had a reason why she wanted her where she was, but that ain't what I wanted. You know, I wanted her to keep my baby, but my grandma was getting older. She was sickly. She had one. She was trying to do the best she can. And but I was so hurt. I didn't want my baby where she was. And so I just kind of gave up to keep from dealing with it. I'm gonna feel and do something to numb it, and I'm gonna get high.
And that's the drugs.
I'm gonna get high. I'm gonna numb this pain because it's too much for me. And nobody's still asking me what happened. Now y'all judging me. Y'all just looking at me like they're just still.
That's just still.
Yeah.
Wow. And through all of this, no kind of recourse, no kind of,
no
outreach.
If I came home, if I didn't, I didn't.
Now, what about at this point, because you were saying when you got pregnant with the first baby, your church community completely alienated you.
Oh, yes.
At that point. So it wasn't even no kind of, was it anybody in that community that wanted that? Nobody. Okay.
Nobody. And I brought this up one time. I said, I thought my Sunday school teacher would have reached out. I thought somebody would have said something.
Yeah.
Nobody. It was like, Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So we now at 17 years old, 3 babies. You fully engulfed in a life of crime, drugs. And now you're back out on the street. And so at this point you have fully accepted the identity of who they have been projecting you to be all along. Now at this point, do you feel hopeless or
I felt hopeless at that point.
Okay, so you completely.
So now I'm gonna stand up and I got to see about me.
Yeah. Okay. So
I got to see about me.
So you doing this basically off what you feel is necessity. This ain't like you really feel like you had any kind of recourse. It's just this is what it is. My family done showing me. My faith community done showing me.
Yeah.
So now I got to do the best that I can.
I'm got to do what I got to do for me.
Okay. So you back outside. How do you start maneuvering then?
I'm stealing. I'm going from hotel to hotel, man to man, whoever that gonna help me, or some of the if they felt like they was showing me love, but half of the time I knew it wasn't love. At the time I felt like it wasn't, and I'm just like I'm still seeking. I'm still that little girl. I just want somebody to love me. I just want somebody to ask me, protect me.
Yeah.
Ask me what happened.
Yeah.
Anybody still ain't ask me what happened.
Yeah. So you just constantly going through life, never healing. Now you just keep bandaging.
That's it.
And so you snatching the band-aid out, so it's never getting fully healed at all. It's just getting deeper because you keep going from person to person.
Had somebody stopped and said, come on, let's go back to school. You messed up. If that had a hug, but we didn't come from no family no hugging. That wasn't that. I knew my grandma loved me, but it wasn't that.
Same stuff y'all in. Yeah.
No, I love you because I'm feeding you and you in my house. And I'm teaching you about, I taught you about God. It's left over to you.
Yeah.
You know, but it was never no, come hug me. Well, when she did one time, I was so nervous, I cried because I wasn't used to that from her. Yeah. And when I talked to my mom, she said she wasn't used to that from her either. So it went from generation to generation. Yeah. We still going through that.
And that's what I was talking to somebody about that the other week, about how our people, just from slavery and everything like that, like our family structures are so fractured because of that, and it never fully healed. And so really like your grandparents' generation, my granddaddy, because my granddad on my daddy's side and your grandma, they came up in that same generation. Their parents, before they come from broken home, they showed love in the best way that they knew how.
Right.
And so it's like you say, it's just a generational cycle. I don't want to say generational curse. It's a cycle.
It's a cycle.
And you know, it's hard when that thing then got in there that deep. You looking at, for at this point, what you got grandkids now, so we looking at 4, 5 generations in. Definitely. You know, not to even mention before your grandmama generation. You know what I'm saying? This brokenness and them just not knowing how to do it, and that's how I see it. Is not that I don't feel like necessarily once they just didn't know. Cause how it is now, we have people so open about mental health and all of this, and even still to an extent in the black community, it's kind of taboo, especially in smaller towns, smaller cities like Albany. Like it's just still not something that people are really open about in a real way. So just thinking about back then, they really weren't trying to, and then especially you talking about in the church. Oh my God. Yeah. They feel like that's the devil. No, why you can't trust God enough to hear you? You know what I'm saying? Like they make it a fake issue with. It's really no. This child was abused at 10 years old. It went unresolved, unaddressed. Y'all glazed over that. She was never fully loved and restored back to her family. Then at 12, she went out looking for love in other areas, other outlets. A mistake happened. And she was shunned instead of accepted and reconciled back to her family. And it just continued. And you drew it further and further. And further. So by this time you 17, you just completely outside. So at what point, so you had a total, how many kids over from 13 or so how old were you when you had your last child?
In my 20s.
Okay. And so by that point, by the time your last child came along, where were you mentally, emotionally, even physically? Like what was your life
I'm
like?
Strung out by that drugs all the way.
Okay.
My life consisted of drugs and in and out of prison. That's it. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
And where were your kids at this time? Cause by that time, your oldest is what, upper teenager.
Yeah.
By that time.
Everybody split up.
Okay.
Everybody split up.
Okay. And so you completely out in the streets, in drugs. Now, at what point did you kind of make a change or make a turn? And what prompted you to change the first time?
Want my children.
Okay.
I would cry to God. I wanted my children, and I felt like the system had failed me. I felt like everybody had failed me. They wasn't gonna never let me get my children because they was like they had them just stereotyping me that from the system to my family, she'll never change this and that. And when I had my baby, I was on drugs so bad. I had so much. She was born in intensive care. I had so much drugs in my system. And I cried out to God, and I said, God, if you heal my baby, God, change me. Because I wanted my children. Because that's what kept me getting high. Because every time I go to try to lay down and think, I want my children. I want my children.
So you didn't have no peace.
I didn't have no peace. So I would always just keep getting high.
Okay.
Keep getting high.
Okay. Yeah. So now, what happened with that after you prayed that prayer?
They called me at the hospital. First, I thought because the judge had got involved because I had so much cocaine in my system. And they called me from the hospital, and I prayed that prayer. They was like, she going to be in intensive care for 2 weeks. The judge going to step in. You're going to be charged, this and that. And they called me like that Wednesday after I prayed that prayer. And they said, your baby can come home. Like 4 days later. She's out of intensive care.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, God. And I got cleaned for like a year. I got clean. But I was still searching for love in a relationship. I done got an apartment with a guy. And I'm doing everything for my baby. I'm trying to make up. I'm trying to make up for the other ones I didn't have. And I'm doing everything. But the relationship was still tearing me down. Because I'm just looking for love at this guy.
Yeah.
And so once he didn't love me, I resorted back to drugs. And I lost my baby again.
Wow. Okay. So, because this story is so interesting, y'all. Like, I like I said, I've been knowing Steph for years, and just this, I know a lot of her story already, but from this perspective, it's different. It's new, just hearing like the background of everything. Like I say, like the what happened. You know what I'm saying? This is like this giving me a whole new perspective. I feel like I'm meeting a whole different Steph at this point, because I'm like, okay, now it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It's because now I'm seeing it in totality versus Steph, based off of what your past and things that I know about your past, to know the root cause of something that it is. You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna get into in a minute about how we can help our city. What if somebody would have said to 10-year-old Steph, hey, I like give you a hug. 12-year-old Steph, hey, let me, you know what I'm saying? It's all right. You know, it's so much, you know what I'm saying, that we could do better.
Yes.
But bring us around to when you finally, because we've talked about it several times, you told this testimony about when you came to the church and the message that you say changed everything for you.
One Sunday, and actually I wasn't even gonna come here, cause I was like, they know my background, they ain't gonna never let me live it down.
Yeah.
So I had my sister-in-law, my brother's girlfriend. At the time, she had this car, and I said, take me and my mama to church. But I said, we're going to another church, because I felt like this was my home church. I was born and raised here. They are, you know, I felt like they were just going to look at me, and that's just still, you know, we already know her background. So, but at the time, his gas tank was off, and gas was smelling in the car. And I was like, man, get me out this car. Drop us off up here.
Yeah.
At the time, I had drugs on me. I had the crack pipe on me. And we came in, and the pastor, he was preaching love. And I was like, my God. It's like he was talking to me.
Yeah.
All I needed was love. That's what I needed.
Yeah.
And he was preaching like, God love you. You know, it don't matter what you done. I took the crack pipe off. I put it in my mom's purse. I wrapped it. I put it in her purse. And I went to the altar.
Yeah.
And it's like something just broke.
Wow.
And God delivered me. That was April the 14th on a Sunday. That Tuesday, I was like, I was still surrounded. By that time, I had got married. I was like, no, I hadn't got married yet. Yes, I had got married. I was like, God, you know, I need to be kept, but I don't know how. Now, because I'm dealing with, you know, a lot of things. And that Tuesday, I was in the hospital. Not knowing had I not came to church that Sunday. Because I had been sick the whole time, but I didn't know what was going on. And my gallbladder had deteriorated.
Wow.
And so they had to put me in the hospital, do emergency surgery. But they couldn't because poison was running out through my body, so they had to put tubes and let it run. And so I didn't feel this pain because I was on cocaine. I felt it, but I was like, when you're on cocaine, you ignore everything. So, but God had delivered me that Sunday.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay. So So 2 weeks I'm in the hospital. I'm there for 9 days.
Wow.
For 9 days, fighting for my life. And God brought me out. God brought me out.
Wow. So, at that point, once he brought you out of that 9 days after you had been delivered that Sunday, do you believe, like, had you not gone and rededicate yourself, for sure you would have did? You know,
because they told me when I got to the hospital, they don't see how I was still walking.
Wow.
Yeah.
We had hear about at this point you delivered. You got delivered when you decided you wanted to live clean. How, like, what were the next steps that you took as far as after you came out of that 9-day hospital visit that time? Because I know at this point, just as of right now, 2024, last year alone, still you had how many stroke, aneurysm, everything, and it's like, I think I done told you before, if ain't nobody else got a purpose, there's some work to do out here. Still got some work to do, and like when I like just a dynamic speaker in your testimony, it's just like every time, like I said, I'm hearing it now from a different perspective, and you know what I'm saying, you hear so much like, oh, okay, I know how this go, but I wanted you to tell, because somebody listening, watching this, maybe going through the same thing, and it's like, that's all this person needs. You looking at this girl or this young man like, oh, they just like that. Yeah. Have you ever asked what happened?
Exactly.
What happened?
Exactly. And it go down through generation to generation.
Yeah.
I mean, and because me and my daughter just today, it's like our healing process just came, cause she still hurt. You know, and it keep going. You know, and she like, you know, still we different. You know, but now, because I love everybody and I go the extra mile. But she says she's not that person. She's not finna do that. And it kind of bothered me today. I've been downtrodden by that, because I still want me and my children. But that hurt us. And I even try to tell them I was a child.
Yeah.
What do y'all expect?
Yeah. You was a child, you didn't have the tools, and then some of that I feel like is what I heard called arrested development.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, as a 50+ year old woman, you still, because that 10-year-old, that 12-year-old never healed. It's kind of like you stop. So if you had to call it arrested development, at what age would you say your development was arrested?
I'm still struggling.
So would you say it kind of hit the pause at 12 when you had the first pregnancy and was outcast and shunned?
Yeah.
That kind of.
Yeah.
And so it's like you still trying to reconcile and heal the 12-year-old still.
Yes.
Because that wound never healed. Oh,
never.
Or would it even be the 10-year-old who was molested?
The 10-year-old. I think the 10-year-old.
Because that was the initial cut.
That was the initial.
And that never went healed, so it's really like it just kept getting deeper and deeper. So really your arrested development was at 10 years old.
Yeah.
And now here it is 40+ years later. It's kind of like, how can what do you expect? And that's why I say I feel like we as people, we have to have grace. When I talked a couple weeks ago, my word for this year is grace. Grace for myself and grace for other people.
Right.
Because listening and just learning, you never learn fully how to give grace until you need it.
Right.
For real.
Right.
So it's like, if you ain't never been in a situation, okay, I need somebody to be merciful and gracious towards me.
Yes.
And that's why, you know what I'm saying, you say you feel like I'm the type of, I can, you know what I'm saying, I want to help people, I want to go the extra mile and whatnot, and that's because you know what it feels like. And I think that's God even in that, because there's some people who have your same story that just like, well, wasn't nobody there for me.
Yeah.
Did nobody help me?
Yes.
So what I need to help them for?
And that was the topic me and my daughter discussed today. She was like, you know, and I was so hurt because I thought that me and her we was right now. But, you know, I guess she got a right to feel what she feel. She was like, nobody there for me, so.
Yeah, because does she have, because that's the other thing, like, what tools has she been given to be this person? Because like you say, it's a generational cycle of unhealed trauma, unaddressed trauma. And now here it is, all of y'all grown now. And just like you dealing with 10-year-olds still, what age?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because all you know is being motherless for the first however many years of your life, fractured family, and now it's like, yeah, I want this relationship, but how can I trust this fully? You know?
And it's to the point now, even now in my adult life, I always feel like, and it's kind of a bad thing. I got to protect myself. I got to stand up for myself.
Yeah.
Because
you would never protect it. You never have.
And it help in situations. It's like, let me straighten my business because I got to protect this. And it have caused me, you know, I don't, you know, I know how to interact with people, but if someone hurt me, I go to them.
Yeah.
Cause let me protect myself. Cause if not, I'm gonna be hurt.
Yeah.
And it's half caused.
It's like you gonna beat it to the punch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let me just go straight my business now, cause y'all finna hurt.
And I went to Woman Evolve last year, and Dr. Brene Brown talked about that. She talked about vulnerability and how people say that they don't feel like they can be vulnerable because they feel like they have to protect themselves. It's a form of weakness.
That's me.
But she said vulnerability is one of the strongest things that you could be.
Yeah.
She said, because the thing about it is, bad stuff gonna happen regardless. You can't beat bad to the punch.
Right.
Because even if you do jump off and be defensive, somewhere else down the road, it's gonna be some hurt.
Right.
So you have to take it in stride and open yourself up. And it's easier said than done, especially, like I said, coming from the background that you come from childhood trauma that was unresolved and family fractures that were unresolved. You know what I'm saying? But to get to the point you are now and, you know, open yourself up and allow people to love, because I think sometimes we accept the love that we feel like we deserve. Right. And we reject anything that does not look or feel like that because it's like, what do you want? I don't trust it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What do you want? And I can feel that because of with everything that you're saying, what happened. Because of what happened. Not what's wrong. What's wrong is because that happened.
That's me.
So,
and it makes me feel like people always like if somebody might want to correct me on something, it's the way if they come to me, I feel like they looking at, I'm still paranoid about they just looking at this step. Yes.
Yeah, and the whole time, like that's where that grace thing comes back in, because it's like, no, I'm really coming, because we done had situation, you know what I'm saying, and I'm like, still, it ain't like that.
Yes.
But like I say, talking to you, that's why I say I feel like I'm meeting a new step.
Yes.
Because I'm not knowing what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It clicks. Like, now does that make it okay? No. You know what I'm saying? Right. But two things can be true. Yeah, this person is dealing with trauma issues that we do not know, that are underlying. They have played them their whole life. They still healing. They have not fully recovered. And how that plays out this is what it looked like when it come out.
Now
does it make it right? No.
Right. And I'm just learning it. I'm just learning it. I don't, like you said, we don't had things that,
and it has been a lot. It ain't been a lot of time,
but it's, and I don't have that with several people.
Yeah.
And when I get home, I'm like, I didn't mean it like that, and I cry. Yeah. Cause I'm just trying to protect myself.
Yeah.
Cause
because you've been your whole life, you felt unprotected.
I had to protect myself.
You felt unprotected, and you had to protect yourself. So when anything that looks like an offense comes, I gotta jump ahead of it. I gotta do what I gotta do.
But they really know Steph. Oh Lord, I love
and that's the thing. Because I know Steph, and that's why, like I say, even in our disagreement or misunderstanding, I ain't got no beef with Steph. Cause I know Steph hard. This way, she may have lashed out. She may have came off harsh. You know, and I even told other people that, like, that I know Steph for real. I been. Have you been around? Have you took time to actually sit down? I done been to Steph house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I done sat with this lady. I know Steph ain't like that. Everybody have days, everything. Everybody go through things. And we just have to give grace. And that's why I'm so glad that we're having this conversation. Because, like I say, it's other people that's watching this that know Steph. And it's a different side. I understand it now. Like, oh, okay. That makes, I get it. So I know how to love Steph better. How to engage with Steph in a better way, or if Steph seem like she's coming off like this, like that, it ain't coming from a place of malice.
If you got children, each one of your children different.
Yeah.
You got to know the needs of your child. That's the purpose of being a parent. And each child is different. You got to love them like God. He loves us where we are. He meet us just where we are. You know, it's different. Some, you know, you might be strong in this area, but this person still fighting the 10-year-old. And she hurt. She not saying pacify me, patting me on my back and then like that, but you got to know who label among you. You got to know the individual for herself.
You have to give people grace and not just jump to conclusions. And you know what I'm saying? Just know a person hard. So I think that, you know, that's so key in dealing with people, and especially in relationship. Like, offenses gonna arise with can we sit down and reason together? Can we talk about it? Can we, you know, and it takes both people, and sometimes depending on how the offense is, everybody ain't just gonna bounce back 30 minutes later or a day later. Just like you offended, you felt hurt, somebody hurt you, you gotta understand sometimes you hurt people and they ain't gonna get over it tomorrow. They ain't gonna get over it next week. You just have to take it day by day, week by week. Hey, I'm still here.
That's right.
I'm still, you know what I'm saying, with you. Whenever you ready, I'm going to hold space for you to, you know, come back. And, you know, that's even over the years of talking to you, how you say you trying to, you know, reconcile your relationship with your kids. You know what I'm saying? Giving them that space. Look, hey, every day ain't going to be a good day. Yeah, we had a good one yesterday.
Exactly.
Today may not be. Like you say, you was talking to your daughter. Today wasn't that easy.
Exactly.
Hey, let's try again tomorrow.
I know that's right.
Let's try again later on this evening. Who knows?
But now I can deal with it. I don't have to resort back to drugs. You know, y'all tell me what's on your mind. Hey, still got to keep pushing.
It is what it is. And so, to pivot to the conversation of, you know what I'm saying, how, you know, everything that's going on in our city. We talked about some things off camera. If you could just elaborate, because everybody don't know about what's going on, and this ain't no isolated event in Albany. This is going on nationwide, and it's just for the simple fact of our population is so small for us to be had 22 murders last year. It's wild for a city our size. Like, when you say per capita, that's somewhere on the lines of like a Chicago or you know what I'm saying. When you think about population density, you know what I'm saying. 22 murders for a city, a small city. That's a lot. That's a lot. So if you could just shed some light on what's actually going on.
It's so much with the murders, gang banging, unsenseless killing. I mean, unsenseless killing that now it's like the generation don't even have remorse about it. They ODing now left and right. We got fentanyl out here. We got all these strong drugs that just taking our youth now. It's so much every other day. Someone got killed last night, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
Someone got killed last night, got shot last night. So it's just every other day now. This is what's going on. And when we as a community going now, you know, I mean, some people looking at it, well, I don't stay that way, but now it's happening everywhere.
It's happening everywhere.
It's everywhere now. It's everywhere. Your neighborhood, my neighborhood, everybody's neighborhood. The rich, the poor, it don't matter now. It's happening. And as a community, something's got to be done. And I feel like when you stand back, because all these kids or whatever that's gang banging and they turn into drugs and they ODing, it's a root to their problem. And I feel like when you boil down to it, it's love. It's liking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, the police will come, but how deep is we getting in the community? Mm-hmm. How deep? And it just, I mean, from the police officers to the schools to the churches to, I mean, what is it for the children to do now?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What can they do?
Yeah.
You know, we got to open some doors, some avenues. I mean, we got to go wholeheartedly with this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all lacking love. It's a root to this problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that 100%. And that's why I think I asked you for like, what can we do? Because I know that we try, to get out in our community. Even just, I think it's such a blessing that our church is where it is, located where it is, on the south side, right in the community. And I'm grateful for our youth pastor, Pastor Faith, because sometimes, especially in the summertime, she'll take the kids and we'll go out to the park behind the church and pass out. I think they did snow cones and just something outside of the walls, because everybody ain't gonna come into us. Even like I started last summer with some of the kids, and we've thankfully grown to young people outside of our church, and not just kids in our church that log on to the set Bible study on Mondays. It's kids from all different neighborhoods, cities, states. Even we had a in-person meeting in December. This girl drove all the way from Atlanta. She said, I left home this morning just to be down here and meet with y'all because I wanted to get an in-person feel. I was like, so what you staying here? And she was like, no, I gotta go. I'm going back home tonight. So the kids, they want that love. They want that community, and they looking for something real. They're looking for something real, and so that's why, like, we partner with the Boys and Girls Club. Like, we talk to these different agencies and organizations. Let us know, what do you need? How can we serve you? But it's only so much that can be done, and then people have to be open to the help. You know what I'm saying? You got to be open to receive, because like you said, I feel like a lot of people, they've been hurt and let down so much. It's hard for them to open up and receive when you have people that come, because in this social media, that thing, it's a good thing, but it also has a dark side to it. And I feel like the church, just in general, not in any particular church, building group of people, just the church, has kind of always had like this bad rap almost. But this social media thing has made it more magnetized, or magnified. That's the word I'm looking for, because because they try to spotlight, I feel like the bad more than the good, and there are wolves in sheep clothing out there, but in the minds of people in the world, okay, so all of y'all like it. So when you see a church try to come in, okay, what y'all want? What y'all out here for? Y'all, you know what I'm saying? You come out here Christmas, Thanksgiving, what you want? You out for this? You out? You really want our money? You know what I'm saying? So it makes it hard for ministries like the one that we're a part of, who really are trying to do it from a place of love and genuine intent, to go in and you know what I'm saying, help our community. And that doesn't stop us by any means. We still gonna do what we do. And I thank God for people like you who are in these communities, because you go out with us. Y'all set up in the projects and gave out house wills and just talk to the people face to face, and engage. We do go out to Albany State, because like you say, it ain't just in the hood now. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's kids, like I said, we go out, they invite us out like 2-3 times a year. We go out and we talk to the college kids. Why? Because they need Jesus too. We do a lot of just, and I think it's because of where our church is located. It's kind of low-hanging fruit to go right there in your backyard and, reach the inner city kids. But it's kids in Dover. It's kids at Albany State. It's kids at Westover that need. It's kids at Deerfield, Sherwood, that need Jesus as well. That's why I say in talking to you, it takes a concerted effort with all of us coming together. Everyone. You do what you can in your neighborhood. I go work my neighborhood. And let's strategize. Let's come together.
Because I was in an organization that was in Albany, and they was trying to combat this thing with the violence. But and in the end, when they said when it was time to go out and hit the streets, they was like, "You can go," because they felt like she ain't scared. She done been out there. Let her go. It's more to it than sitting behind just drinking, sipping on some coffee.
No, that's right.
So that was my thing. Yeah. So I just cut ties with that organization.
Yeah.
Because like you said, the children, the world, people know when you real. And they looking for real. And they looking. You got to come real now.
And they
not
come out fake. And they gonna let you know that.
And they gonna let you know.
They gonna let you know. And I know that from, like I say, I work with ages 18 to 25 on the Bible study that we do on Mondays. And I tell them, like, we ain't got no filter. We ain't this ain't no church setting. This ain't your grandma. This ain't your pastor. We just here to talk. However you feel, whatever you think. This is your avenue. This your outlet, and we gonna bring it because God is in it, regardless whether we want Him in it or not, because He's omnipresent.
Yes,
He wants to be, and that's the thing. That's why I say it's starting to the beginning by a conversation. What happened?
Yeah,
because God was there too.
Yeah,
God didn't. God didn't miss that at all. And and the thing is, because he talked about it in the Word, like you mentioned, his least ones. I won't smoke behind that. Even with Jesus, when he was down the cross, say, "God forgive them, they don't know what they're doing." I feel like if Jesus hadn't said, "God forgive them, they don't know what they're doing," because that's my child that's on that cross. You did that to my child,
right, exactly,
for nothing.
Exactly.
Forgive them, they don't know what they're doing. Have mercy on these people. Why? Because God, He's a real dad. He cares.
Yes.
So why? You molest a child, you ain't getting by with it. It may look like it.
Yeah.
But Bishop J.C. preached a message a few years ago at our leadership conference I went to. He was like, nobody get away. Nobody gets away.
Nobody.
These folks, they laying away at night, can't rest. You don't know what God got in store for these people. And you think, oh, they got away with that. No, God didn't miss that. No. God didn't miss that at all. No. And you got God didn't want that to happen. People try to put... Oh, well, God is so good. Why He let this happen? Why He didn't stop this from happening? Because people got free will.
Yeah.
God did not make this person
That's right.
go out. He did not miss this person doing that to you. Right. This person chose to do what they did.
Right.
And God is still God.
He's still God.
To the Father.
He's still God.
He still is here to reconcile us, to restore us, to help us.
Yes.
If we accept that.
Yes.
But nothing misses Him. He doesn't miss anything. So before we wrap up, I want you to think this your camera right here. What would you say to 10-year-old Steph?
To the 10-year-old Steph, I would say, at the time, I mean, the 10-year-old Steph, I would say,
to help her,
don't be afraid. Don't fear. Keep going. This is not the end. Keep striving. You're going to be the nurse that you always wanted to be. Keep going. Conquer fear.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm just grateful for you coming on here and sharing your transparency, your story. Look, I told them I'm going to start calling this the hot seat because we want people to be honest, open, and transparent. Definitely. Come in hot.
Definitely.
Come in hot every time. And that's what I feel like this was right here. Honest, open. It was hot. It was honest, open, and transparent. And like I said, I love when I can learn something new, especially knowing a person for as long as I done known you. We done work together, everything. Like I say, man, we can't see that step out. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and after all of these years, still, it's a different side of you that I did not know. A different story, different side to the story that I hadn't heard. And there's so many other people watching this that they didn't know either. And so, just to have you to come on and share. And it went, I ain't mean, you know, as I said, we're going to do kind of half and half, but that was necessary, that first part. Yeah. Just getting down to the root of what happened. Yes. I think that's really going to help some people. Yes. And I'm just so grateful, like I said, for your vulnerability and just to see your transformation. And what God is still doing, because like I said, still, you say you had 4 strokes. Aneurysms. Beat drug addiction. And you still here.
Still here. Amen.
What is God doing?
Still here. Thank you.
We gonna see it. I'm happy to see it. I'm glad to be able to witness it. I think this is so amazing. So once again, it's been another episode of The Set. I'm Shine. Thanks again, Steph, for your time. Like, oh my God, this has been beautiful. Need y'all to like, share, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, y'all, please donate to our platform. We're trying to continue to bring you high quality content, and to do that, we need your help. So, however you can help us, please donate. All of our information is on the screen at this time. Whatever you can do to help us, we really appreciate it. We want to just keep making a difference in the world and our community. Yes. Thank y'all for tuning into The Set. I'm Shine. I'll see y'all next week.